Book number 30, and it's a big one. This one was highly recommended by a lot of people. Not sure how much I'll recommend it though. And I give it a 7 out of 10. So Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is a very, very, very famous book. And it is the one that everybody recommends, from Richard Branson to Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss. Like, anybody and everybody seemed to recommend this book to me, or when I looked at places where it was like, top 10 books to read to be successful, this one showed up. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, if you're a millennial, it's a hard read. If you need to be like sucked in and bought into a story immediately to keep you going, it's a hard read. But it's a good one, and it had a lot of really good points to it. So what I mean by that is, the more modern books that I was reading, the newer ones, they draw you into their story. They pull you into their story, and you start to imagine yourself in their life, in their place, in their world, and that you could have what they have, which makes it an easier read. And this book is old school. It's really, really, really old school. Let me actually check when it was written. 1960. So yeah, a couple years old. But a few things that I really liked out of it anyways, and yes, I think most people should read this. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or a greater benefit. So really, what is that saying? Is find the positive. There's a reason for it, and you're going to learn something from it, and there's something you can take from it moving forward. Another section I really liked was on persistence. It's broken out into I think 12 different principles. And persistence. They talked about how you can train yourself to be persistent. And I'll just read you a few of the causes, the definite causes that they talk about. Definiteness of a purpose, of desire, self-reliance, definiteness of plans, accurate knowledge, cooperation, willpower, and habit. And then it goes through all of those, and it gets you to take your own persistence inventory by looking at what's actually going on in your life. Procrastination, lack of interest, indecision, habit of passing the buck, things like that. This section I really liked. That was a big one for me. And another one at the end. So I have two versions of this book, and I don't know if the other one is in here right now. But I had this version, which is like the smaller one, and then there's actually another one that I have that has a whole workbook that you work through at the same time. And that one I found a little bit easier to read, and I actually read both just to see which one I liked better, because they were very different. But it also talks at the back on the 6 ghosts of fear. So what it is that we are attaching to ourselves, what are our massive fears that are holding us back, stopping us from moving forward in any area of your life, not even just business. And that's the thing, is a lot of people think that a business book is just for business. It's about making more money or getting more clients or selling more. They're not. The principles in these books are things that you can use in any and every area of your life. And even I have found that really interesting reading. I mean, I'm 30-some books in already to this challenge, and a lot of the stuff that I've taken from it, I have used more in my personal life than I have with my business. So keep that in mind. Don't be scared because it's a business book. But the 6 basic fears, and it says, there are 6 basic fears, with some combination of which every human suffers at one time or another. Most people are fortunate if they do not suffer from the entire 6. Named in the order of their most common appearance, they are the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, and those are the ones at the bottom of most of one's worries, and then the fear of loss of love of someone, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. So when you're looking at your state of mind, what is it that your fears are? What's holding you back? And yeah, it was really interesting. It goes into larger descriptions on those, how to deal with them a little bit, those sorts of things. So do we think that reading this book is going to make you a millionaire instantly? Which it does say. No, not quite. It says this book could be worth $1 million to you. Do I think that? Yes and no. There are definitely amazing principles in here and things that trigger you. But a lot of people I talked to about it that were younger generation that have read it said that they had to read it multiple times to really capture something that grabbed them and then turned into something amazing for them. But outstanding book at the same time. You really should try it. It was an interesting one and not that huge.